Finding balance in your life seems impossible these days. Crystal Escobar of Wanna Be Balanced on Instagram is sharing the breakdown that got to the breakthrough of balancing life. Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
It is so true. It is so hard to balance life in general, and then you put on all the other stresses. What got you through? What was the breakthrough for you?
Well, it was first started with my false belief that I could just do a whole bunch of things and balance it all.
Don't we still? Like we tell
Yeah.
ourselves, well, we can't do it, and then we end up doing that opposite thing of, yeah. we can.
I think it really had a lot to do with believing that I was supposed to do things a certain way, like the way a mom should be.
The pressure.
There's like this perfect blueprint, and I thought I was supposed to follow this blueprint, and the breakdown happened, or it led to my breakthrough, which ultimately made me realize that I had been following what other people told me I should be. And so what I did was basically had to throw out all of my beliefs and get to a place of like having a blank canvas. And that's kind of what led me to the breakthrough, realizing that I had adapted so many different beliefs about who I was supposed to be based on my upbringing, the culture, my parents, and throwing it all out and starting from nothing was like the best thing for me.
And Crystal, do we all have to get down to a low point for us to realize that we can't do it all? Perfectionism doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we all have to, but I do think that we all have like different awakenings in life that kind of gets us to the next level of understanding. We're able to look back and see where we went wrong and how we had this false belief of how things should be. And
yeah. And you wrote a book.
Yeah.
And it's called Wanna Be
My life as a Wanna Be Balanced Mom. I share all my experiences over the last 15 years being a mom, and talk about my breakthrough and my breakdown, and how I'm now learning how to listen to more of my intuition, where I now coach women in like mindfully like eating and connecting to their intuition, because we are so used to taking information from other people. So I want to teach women how to feel empowered by, intuitively living and mindfully eating and all that stuff, because we're so used to asking other people for how should we do this, like doctors and gurus and books. We're always searching information outside of ourselves, but that's kind of my message, is just teach women how to connect with their inner knowing and stop looking at what everybody else is doing and everybody telling you to do.
How long ago was your awakening?
It was about 3 years ago.
And isn't it a journey? How do you reconfirm or confirm, okay, this is the right thing for me, and how do you build on that?
It really is stepping away from what you've been told is the ideal way to live your life, and stop listening to other people, like really just disconnecting in that way, and just starting to ask yourself, like, what do I believe about this?
Was there an example, a moment where you said, that works for me, and that is my path?
Well, it actually took me leaving my religion for me to actually open up that space for me to think differently, because I think I just was so conditioned to believe things are this way,
What will people get out of your book when they read it? What do you think? Will they be inspired to listen to themselves a little bit more?
For sure. I think it's just really learning what that sounds like. What does it sound like to get answers from yourself? Or is that something that you've been like conditioned to believe about yourself?
And if you look at your life 3 years ago to now, are you a totally different person? How would you explain and say how your life is going right now?
Much more relaxed, not so much about my to-do list, not so much about following this perfect blueprint, but much more just flowing and more relaxed and more confident with who I am and my own personal beliefs.
Crystal, thank you so much. You are now coaching other women and other folks who are struggling with figuring out the right and the wrong in their life and their purpose, and not being so perfect and finding balance. Wanna Be Balanced on Instagram and Facebook. You also have a podcast. wannabebalanced.com. We'll have a link on our website. Crystal, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Up next, brown sugar baked brie in the kitchen.
And then meet the mom making a splash on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake. We're talking with this season's diva, Jen Shaw. Plus, we just told you that Dina is having a baby, and now she's ready to reveal the name, too. We're doing it all today. Find out at the end of the show.